It's Dr. D with the Weekend Kiss. And we're talking health and nutrition with my dear friend, Kyira Harris. Kai, as she's affectionately known, is the CEO of Keys to Abundant Life. And she is a certified health and nutrition consultant. She studied at the Institute for Integrative Nutrition and received her certification through the American Association of Drugless Practitioners in 2005. She received her Master's of Art in Speech-Language Pathology from the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign after graduating from the Hampton University with a Bachelor of Arts degree in Communicative Science and Disorders. Her passion for health and nutrition piqued her interest into the holistic nutrition field and by her naturopathic doctor and her strong curiosity and inner knowing there was a direct connection between the two. Her population that she dealt with her degree in pathology were children from 0 to 5, and it led her to explore a world of health and nutrition, and my girl never looked back. Keys to the Abundant Life is an extension of Kyira's character and her strong beliefs. She is a mentor and a huge proponent of individuals living their best lives, as well as an avid yogi and an alkaline vegan. It is my absolute pleasure to welcome Kyira Harris to our show. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So Kyira, tell me what is in the title of your company, which I absolutely love. Keys to the Abundant Life?
Keys to Abundant Life.
Tell me, what does that mean and how did you come up with that title?
So originally the title was supposed to be the initials of my name. So it's supposed to be my first, my middle, and last name. So Kyira Harris. Health I wasn't able to use because I don't have an MD after my name. And so I had to change that. So I ended up changing it to life. So the keys to abundant, at least keys abundant, Kyira and then life. The reason for keys is just because there's so many different aspects of life that you need to work on in order to have an abundant life. And so that's where Keys to Abundant Life came.
And what would you consider those keys to be? Because obviously we're on a show for people affected by breast cancer. So I know I'm trying to be healthier. Everyone knows who follows me on my different social media platforms that I have a personal trainer, that I do HIIT classes twice a week. I'm walking, but my diet is my issue. So tell me what you would consider to be the keys to make us be healthier.
Well, you already named two. You definitely talked about exercise. You definitely talked about nutrition. If anybody, I can't even say if anybody knows, but I want everybody to know that 80% of what you eat is what really affects your body, like your weight loss, weight gain, whatever it is that you're looking to do with your body.
Absolutely.
And then 20% is the exercise. So it's definitely
I have
important.
the 20%. I got to work on the 80%.
You got to work on the 80. Exactly. You got to
Oh,
work on the
goodness
80.
gracious.
But the other part, there's so many different parts. With Keys to Abundant Life, we look at everyone. We look at the entire person. So we look at like holistically. Laughter, socializing with friends, that's another key. Finances, another key. Self-care, another key. We look at stress management because everyone has stress. There's bad stress and there's good stress. The key to the stress is how you actually respond to it and not
Absolutely.
react. So we look at, there's so many different keys. I mean, so many different keys. It's like an umbrella. It's an umbrella and the umbrella is health. And there's so many different keys hanging from that umbrella.
I think that's a beautiful metaphor and I like it. So Kyira, also, what do you focus on? I think you alluded to that. So if someone, I know that if someone comes to you and says, hey, I want to get healthier, and granted, we're all individuals, what are give me 3 things that you're going to tell those patients, especially if they've been affected by cancer of any type, but particularly as we're talking about breast cancer, what 3 things would you say as a mantra?
Are you talking about just food or are you talking about just in general?
I'm talking about the foods and
Okay.
also, and the exercise portion as well.
Okay.
So go for it.
Okay, I definitely will. When it comes to food, definitely looking at eating whole foods. So not trying to stay away from all the processed foods. So anything that you really don't, if you read it and you don't know what it is, or you
That's
don't
considered a
understand what it
processed
is,
food?
it's considered a processed
Understood.
food. If it's in a box, it's considered a processed food. So really, eating a lot of fruits and vegetables. And I would really say focus more on the vegetables than the fruits, only because the fruits have sugar. And people are saying, oh, you know, but it's sugar from fruit. And it is, but your body still is going to process it. With the fruit, you get the nutrients, you get the water, you get the fiber, you get the vitamins. But then that sugar piece is still a problem. Definitely want to eat leafy greens. You want to eat the colors of the rainbow, which and I'm sure you've heard this before, but it's just good it's a good reminder. It's a good thing to just hear it again. Just making sure you eat the colors of the rainbow.
Reds, your oranges, your
greens,
purples, your greens.
Everything. You name it. You name it. The colors of the rainbow, your yellows, you want to eat it. I would also state that when you're eating fruits, you want to look at the fruits that are low on the glycemic index. When I say low on the glycemic index.
For those who are not familiar with the glycemic index, can you just give us a little information about what is that? Because some people, I know we hear low GI, high GI, but a lot of people do not know what that means.
Right.
So give us an example.
If someone says high glycemic or low glycemic, it's just talking about the sugar level. So you want to look at fruits that are low in sugar, low glycemic. High
Can you give us an example of a fruit that's low in sugar?
Absolutely. Any of the berries. So like strawberries, blueberries, any of your berries, not cranberries. A lot of people eat like the dried cranberries and they think, oh, I'm eating something healthy.
Dried fruit is very high in sugar. So your raisins and your cranberries, delicious as they are, too high in sugar for you.
Right. And if you do feel the need to eat dried fruit, make sure that you eat, if you're not allergic, which I know you are, but make sure that you include protein. So make sure you include nuts. I know you wouldn't be able to, but you know, for those who can eat nuts, definitely your walnuts, your Brazil nuts, you want to definitely include your almonds if you choose.
Absolutely.
But definitely something that's going to slow down how the sugar digests in your body. But I will say, and I know we're going to probably talk about this, but one of the foods that we should absolutely stay away from if you're a patient with cancer is sugar. Just because cancer it feeds off of sugar. So you want to make sure that you not feed the cancer. So,
and there's so many great books, which we'll get into next time, that in the future, I should say, that discuss the link between sugar and cancer.
Right.
So Kyira, with that being said, you pretty much talked about foods that we should do. You talked about foods that we shouldn't do. Is there any, besides sugar, is there any food that you would say that a cancer patient should limit in terms of how many times they eat per week, or
red meat.
Red meat.
Red meat.
Absolutely.
I personally am an alkaline vegan, so I don't eat any meat.
What does that mean? Because we hear vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian, flexitarian, and now you're throwing in an alkaline vegan.
I'm like, exactly. Yes. There's that too. We're there too. Alkaline vegan just means vegan, meaning that you don't eat dairy, you don't eat any meat. The alkaline part is eating foods that increase the alkaline. If you look at the pH level in your body is acidic as well as on the level of. You guys remember
acid, that back in science that you hated probably.
Exactly.
So you have a pH level. You have basic, and you have, which is more alkaline, and you have these acid.
Right.
Most times when our body's out of whack, we're more on the acid levels. Usually red meat falls more towards the acid levels, correct?
And
eating
sugar.
The way Kyira eats with the alkaline vegan takes you more towards the basic or the alkaline part of the pH scale. And now there's even waters like Essentia water and Smart water, and people even sell waters that are dedicated to keeping your body in an alkaline state. Continue.
But I will tell you this, and thank you for that. I will say that when you're eating more alkaline, the thinking behind it is that the more alkaline your body is, the less able a disease is able to live in your body. So the more alkaline, the more acidic, they say that you're more prone to, or might be able to get more diseases. If the more alkaline your body is, the less disease.
Absolutely. And so, Kai, do you give private consults? Tell us more about your company. Do you give private consults if somebody wants information? Are you company-based? How does your company work?
So our company, we do healthy culinary classes. We actually do a number of things. We do healthy culinary classes. We're in a number of schools throughout New York City and beyond. We also work and provide professional development workshops as well as health and wellness workshops. And we do this with students, adults, families, and professionals.
So, for example, if we are breast cancer patients who are listening to this, caregivers, people who are interested in the topic in general, say I want to consult, besides you being my good friend, for the average person out there, if they wanted to consult you to say, you know what, I want to get better. They may not get all the way to the alkaline vegan, because Lord knows I'm a work in process and in progress.
She's doing pretty well, though. She's doing pretty well.
Thank you so much. But if somebody wanted to sit down and have a consult with you, would they be able to do that?
Yes.
Fantastic. And I think, we as cancer patients always have a nutritionist. Most times our insurance will provide that through the hospital. I know that Kai works sometimes with insurances, but even if she didn't or does not, I think
not
you don't really. Mm-mm. Okay, I take that back. Mm-mm. But to have the nutritionist in the hospital is imperative. You need that. And they're very good about trying to get you to eat well. But I think some of the things that she discusses when you're ready for that next level, now we're feeling good, we've completed our first year with cancer, I think it's great to have that consultation as well, where, okay, this is the tools that I was given to Western medicine, traditional nutritionists, what else is there that I can do to make me the best me? How can I lower my possible recurrence rate? Because that's always an issue for us to think about. And also for those who have never had it, how do they prevent it? Particularly if there's a genetic link, and just in general, and genomics, where we talk about the things that we do that have nothing to do with genetics that can contribute to cancer. So I think that's great, and I appreciate that. And tell us, do you provide recipes? Because I remember following your blog, and I remember you had a recipe on there, and I was like, ooh, I'm gonna try that. For all of you who like, especially now that COVID is taken over and a lot of us are home more, a lot of us are dabbling in the kitchen. And to have a wonderful recipe to play with your children, your significant other, even a Zoom call with your girlfriends or your boyfriends, this is something that I'm interested in. So tell me more.
We absolutely do. We have recipes. Right now, if you go to our website, keystoabundantlife.com, you can definitely find a few recipes. We're looking to add more. And we also do online virtual culinary classes. What's interesting, and you let me know, we're always looking to do something different. And so I will have, I can actually create a class where it's just for patients with cancer or caregivers for patients with cancer who are thinking, I want to cook, I don't know what to, I don't know what to cook. And if you want to do some culinary classes virtually, I will have one of my instructors show you the foods to eat, and you would obviously, the thought is that you would be cooking with us. This is not a demo, that you would be cooking with us. And so once both of you are done, you have a meal that you know is nutritious for the patient with cancer. So let me know. Please email me. You can actually email me through the website. Again, keystoabundantlife.com. You can actually go to our Instagram, which is at @KTAbundantLife. Twitter, same thing, KT Abundant Life, and Facebook is Keys to Abundant Life. Everything is Keys to Abundant Life.
Keys to Abundant Life.
That's right.
And so I'm so grateful that you're here. I appreciate you giving us this great information. I definitely plan on having her back and having a cooking demo in the spring. So everybody, get your mind right. We will be cooking together on my show.
That's right.
And thank you so much for joining us, Kai. This was very insightful. This has been wonderful. Our goal is to educate you and entertain you. Thank you.
Thank you.